everyone. Welcome back to Wine by the Bay TV, Part 2. I'm your host, George Bachara, Herc Pardee. My father-in-law is here, Coach Extraordinaire, and Il Padrino di Clayton. We did the baseball portion, we did the Clayton Valley portion, the MLB portion. Now we're back to taste some wine, which is kind of how I had to bribe him to come on the show in the first place. So we're going to get that going right away. But we didn't talk about our question of the day, question of the week. What style of food is your favorite food? Italian, Indian, Spanish, whatever you like. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. And I guess I'll ask you, since you're sitting here, what's your favorite style of food? I mean, if it's hamburgers and hot dogs, whatever.
I love hamburgers, but I got to go Italian all the way.
Italian. So over like the best burger in your life as opposed to the best chicken parm in your life, what would you do?
Ooh, that's real close. That's a toss-up. But there's other choices Italian where the burger you pretty much have just a cheeseburger, but chicken parm, outstanding. Chicken cacciatore, the bolognese sauce, especially my wife and my daughters.
So you're sticking to Italian then?
Yes, and my sisters.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti and meatballs. Can't beat it.
I really thought you were going to go burger.
Burgers.
Because I've seen you order burgers in places that I wouldn't expect anyone to order a burger in. So
That would be a good burger.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so burgers it is. As much as I love Italian, give me a tomahawk ribeye on a 1,000-degree oven, and you got me. And you can give me nothing else.
Of course.
In fact, you don't even need to give me a plate.
We're not
frankly. Honey, what about you? Megan, camera extraordinaire.
I gotta go Italian as well.
Italian,
Yeah.
okay, Italian. Over my steak.
You can combo that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. That's not the same thing.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go with my Italian.
Okay.
Gnocchi being my favorite with the bolognese.
That's true. Gnocchi, you're a sucker for the gnocchi. Okay. Well, depending on the sauce, you could have gnocchi with either one of these two wines. So let's get right into it. So I picked out two wines over a total wine today. I picked out one Italian and one from California. So we'll start with the white first. We've got, we've got the Dry Creek Fume Blanc, 2020 from Sonoma County. This is $11.99 at Total Wine. So you might be asking yourself, if you're not big into white wine or big into California, what is a Fume Blanc as opposed to Sauvignon Blanc? So the difference is Fume Blanc is a Sauvignon Blanc grape that's aged in oak barrels. That's all it means. And it's a French derivative, French nomenclature, I should say. So when you see Fume Blanc, you know that it's Sauvignon Blanc wine aged in oak barrels. That's it. Very easy. Okay. So this one has 13.5 alcohol by volume, which is a little high for a white wine. But I think it'll be good. Dry Creek is a good producer, 2020, Sonoma County. So let's go ahead and pour. A little bit for you. Okay. And a little bit for me. So Herc knows what he likes, but he's not like, he's never worked in the business. This is a man on the street kind of tasting, which is kind of what needs to happen a little bit more. I have a lot of friends who are in the business, and we have kind of these, preconceived notions of a lot of things or whatever. So I kind of wanted to bring somebody in that is more a consumer rather than a seller, and get your perspective on how to do this kind of thing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the color. And here, take a white piece of paper for yourself too. And as expected, the Sauvignon Blanc is on the lighter side, which is obvious. It's kind of what you're expecting. You're going to give it a little air, roll it around like that to kind of release all the aromatics. And then get your nose in there really, really hard and dip it in and smell good. A lot of grapefruit I got.
Very good.
Grapefruit, a little apple.
I can smell the apple.
Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot of oak, which may appear on the palate, but on the nose there isn't a whole lot of, there's no vanilla or anything. It's not super tropical. It's got a little floral element to it. I'm interested. You ready to go?
Yep.
So I always like to smell and then drink, so you get a little bit more of the olfactory going. So, and then
It tastes pretty good. And I'm not a wine connoisseur. I mean, a white wine, but this is very tasty.
So here's the acidity, right on the attack. I get a lot of lemon and lime, like bright citrus flavors. Not annoyingly bright, but I'm tasting a lot of that. And then as it kind of goes through, there's nothing on the mid palate, but on the back of my tongue, I'm getting more of that weight. But that citrus, that like acidic, is kind of it almost the tip of my tongue right now. If you're a kid and you always used to take, I mean, maybe I'm just a moron, but I used to take 9-volt batteries and jab your tongue.
We all did.
Yeah,
We all did.
thank God.
Boys, not some.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whoever, but I did. I can't speak for anybody else. And like right on the tip, I get a little bit of that like bzzz from the battery. It's gone away now, and now like there's a lot of warming kind of thing going on. That's the higher alcohol in the back of my throat. It's not burning, but it's just warming up the back of my tongue.
I can feel that, definitely.
Right?
Yes.
I'm not getting a whole lot of taste anymore, but I am getting that warming sensation. But I think that for Sauvignon Blanc, this is kind of what you would expect. Some of that citrusy kind of thing, lemon, lime, not orange, but like a tart citrus, and then like that warming kind of thing because it's got a lot of alcohol, which is good. Because if it was just citrus, it would be like biting into a lime.
Right.
And then that would be all you get. And that's kind of boring and pretty much annoying in my opinion. And again, I'm not a white wine drinker, as we've found out.
Nor am I, but this is this.
Yeah, this isn't bad. I mean,
nice
I would
taste.
What were
again.
your points?
Now I'm starting to get a little vanilla on the tongue as it's going.
I love vanilla.
So that's your oak right there coming in. And I wish I had the cutting board. I'm on remote, so I didn't bring it. Unfortunately, stupid me. But I would put that cutting board up now because as it's sitting here, the vanilla is kind of overcoming and just keeps going and going and going. So you're definitely tasting that oak. Let's do one more little quick taste and then we'll move on to the next wine. And we got to give the camera girl a shot here. Not as much of the citrus on this one, but it's still there. But that acid is coming at me again.
I feel that. I definitely taste that.
On the front of your tongue,
yes,
right?
I taste that.
Yeah, the acid is right in the beginning. But
There's a
I
little
like
apple in there
I like
now.
it.
It's not, I mean, again, I would never buy a Sauvignon Blanc or a Fumé Blanc, like, on my own. But I would drink it if someone said, here, have a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. This is
very
pleasant.
nice.
Yeah.
Very
It
good.
is pleasant.
It is.
This doesn't have a score, but I would say this is a solid 90 points.
Nice.
So, if, I mean, $11.99 for a bottle of wine.
That's
That's-
a.
I mean,
a
that's
steal.
all right.
That's a
That's
deal.
a
I mean,
steal.
you're paying half of that for gas.
As in baseball, it's a steal.
I mean, that's true. It is a steal. If you go fill, we were just passing by diesel. We were just passing by a gas station. Diesel, $6.69 a gallon.
Ooh.
So
That hurts.
for half of that, you could have, for double that, you can have a bottle of wine, or you can put 1 gallon of diesel in your truck. So you tell me. And this doesn't taste like diesel, which is pleasant. Thank God for that. All right, so let's take a little rinse here. I'm going to need that glass back, camera person, because we have
Oh, right, you're red.
different wine. Okay, coming in. All right, let's do this. Let's dump out the extra here. And then we're going to rinse. So what I'll do is I'm going to give you just a little bit.
Okay.
Swirl it around really good here. So we're going to just change the flavor in the glass so
Got it.
we're not tasting the white mixed with the red. Okay. One for you.
Thank you.
And we'll do the same for me.
I wonder if this will affect my bocce tonight.
Well, maybe positively. Who knows?
Well, that always helps.
You want to give a shout out to the bocce team? Who's on your team?
Well, we got Matt Mazzei, who's on the team, and we got Jack and Rosa Rico, and Julie and Greg Boyce, and Dirk and Marilyn Fitzgerald. Eric Peterson's in Minnesota, and my lovely wife, Roxanne.
Who's taking my place on your team this year?
Well, we had to, we made a move.
I got booted out,
Mr.
and
Mazzei made a
I wound
move.
up on another team.
Right,
And
but
we all know about that.
But we play a powerhouse tonight. We play Ed's Mudville Grill. Great dining establishment, but they're one of the top teams in the Clayton Bocce League.
Okay, so our second wine is the In Vetro. It's from the producer Bocce, which we've actually tasted before. Alex brought by one of the Bocces. about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we tasted some of their product. This is a 2018 from Tuscany, IGT, which is which is a way to determine the type of wine. I can't speak right now. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But remember we talked about DOCG a few weeks back when Alex was here. This IGT, what it does is it tells you that it's actually less restrictive than DOC and DOCG. So essentially in Tuscany, as long as the grapes are grown in Tuscany, it doesn't matter which grapes they are. And there's no aging requirements and none of that. So you can grow pretty much anything. As long as it's from Tuscany, it will be IGT. So my thinking is that this wine is going to have a mixed bag of different grapes, not just Sangiovese. It'll probably have a little Merlot, a little Cabernet, something like that. So let's take a look at it first. Let's look at it against the white page here. Definitely like a reddish purple color, right? Not super dark, more of a garnet. It's not like a brownish red, it's a fresh red. And being that it's 2018, for an Italian wine, it's still pretty young. 14% alcohol by volume, $17.99 at Total Wine. So also not going to break the bank on you here. This one got 92 points from James Suckling. And as I said, it's a 2018. So let's swirl it around and see what we smell, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like a little, maybe boysenberry.
I can smell that. I can smell the berry.
Yeah, there's definitely berry. Blueberry, boysenberry.
Ooh,
something that's a little on the sweet side and juicy, right? Yeah, you're a big blueberry fan generally, right?
Period.
Yeah, exactly.
All berries.
Yeah, but you like the blueberry pie too, right?
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I wouldn't turn it away either, honestly. A little bit of alcohol, but not a lot. It's not very earthy. It's not very. It's more fresh. Might be some like cooked plums, like a stewed plum or something like that. You think?
I do. It tastes good though. I mean, it's got a nice taste.
I didn't taste it yet, obviously. Herc's a little impatient when it comes to wine, and that's fine.
Remember now, I'm a rookie.
No. You're this is a man of the people tasting. This is different. This is the consumer giving his perspective.
That's
so keep
right.
that in mind. All right. Let's give it a taste, huh? Or let's me give it a taste. You know what? I just caught a little bit of maybe dried herbs, oregano, something like that.
Yum.
It's on the periphery, but it's there for sure.
How is it?
Very juicy,
good.
very fresh.
Very juicy.
It's very fruit forward. There's a little bit of tannin, a little bit of acid. I feel it in between my teeth and my lips. I'm not tasting it. It's not a very long finish. Like it's over for me.
Right.
Which is not good.
It's a short finish.
I
Short
do too.
finish. Well, the problem with the short finish though is like if you're having it with food, by the time you get the food in, unless you're shoveling it in,
that's what I'm going to stop doing.
which I've been known to do.
Well,
You know,
Eating
to get the
eating fast has been a problem in my life.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen me eat? Okay, all right. Anyway, the problem is that with a short finish, you don't get to see how the food and the wine react.
True.
So you kind of want a long finish because then it goes through your whole tongue. Stop laughing,
Sorry.
Megan. Okay, it's not funny. Megan has seen me eat, and
Is there
she's been
somebody else
horrified on
laughing
many
in here?
occasions.
Like,
Yeah, I
it's
think
somebody
that's
else.
the other inhabitant of the house.
Yeah. I need to give a shout out to a friend, Deborah and Steve Gonzalez,
Go ahead.
friends, close friends, who, matter of fact, I got into the wine tasting with Deborah's father. This was years back. I grew up in a household that had wine on the table with my father. Of course, that wine was Gallo, so it's not quite up to snuff here, but
Well,
just want to give a shout out.
Actually, I meant to ask you because you grew up in the neighborhood. There were a lot of Italian families, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who made wine in the neighborhood or vinegar that used to go around to everybody?
Well, in Pittsburgh, there were a number of them. Pittsburgh my grandfather, my no-no, he made wine. I mean,
Okay.
I wasn't able to ever taste it, but my uncles and my father grew up with that wine.
Right.
you
So
know,
they had grapes. And
they
then
had
would make wine
grapes.
and vinegar.
Yeah.
There were a
they
lot
did.
of guys in the neighborhood
Right.
in Brooklyn that used to do it when I was younger.
Right.
As we got older into high school and whatever, that kind of faded away. But I was just curious. I meant to ask you that before and I totally forgot. So good. I'm glad you did that. All right. I smelled a little banana for just a quick second. It's in there, but it's kind of, you really have to look for it. You won't, I don't taste it. I just smelled a little bit of like banana leaf almost.
Interesting.
It is. It's tasty. I mean, I like the wine. It's a good
fresh.
wine.
It's tasty. It is a sub $20 bottle of wine.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not typical for the region. There's no cherry. There's a little. I shouldn't say that. There's a little bit of cherry, but it's not a strong cherry flavor. It's more. It had a lot of the berry stuff going on in the nose. It does have some herbaceousness, which is good, like the dry herbs.
Right.
But it's not. If you gave me that, I wouldn't go Sangiovese like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be like, okay, this goes with pizza. This goes with whatever. This is more. This is definitely an IGT because they've definitely mixed some stuff in here. I don't know what they put in. Maybe some, Cabernet Franc. I would say there's a little Cabernet Franc in here because I kind of get that. It's muting the cherries. It's got more of that berry kind of thing going on. Here you go. Megan's been chomping at the bit for her taste of the.
Does the lady in the other room would like to try?
Well, she can have some later since
Okay.
we didn't introduce her.
Well, we have bocce ball tonight, so
and we
we'll
have
definitely...
bocce, so you can take these actually with you to bocce.
Yeah.
And they can kind of kill those.
Yeah, there's some wine people down at Bocce's for sure. Members only in our team.
What do you think?
I like it. It's not as fruity as you described the nose. The nose is fruitier than the actual.
Yeah, the nose is fruitier than the palate. You
got
get
good
more
taste.
cherry on the palate,
Mm-hmm.
and you get more of that mulberry, blueberry kind of thing going on the nose. But I wouldn't give it 92 points. I think that's too strong. The wine is too typical. I'm sorry, too atypical. It's too average. It's a good. It drinks well, but 92 points better do more than just drink well.
Yeah.
It better take you on the journey that I always talk about. It should evolve a little bit as you're drinking, and you should be tasting different stuff every time you kind of taste it. And this, you get 1 or 2 tasting notes and then you're done. So I would say that this is less complex, very approachable, very tasty. You won't feel bad, especially if you spent $18. I mean, on a wine list, it'd be more. It'd probably be more like 30, 35. But if you buy in a store, $18, I mean, this is a wine by the glass in a lot of Italian restaurants. They would serve that for probably, I don't know, $13 a glass, $14 a glass.
It's very
Not terrible. Not terrible.
It's a good wine.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
89 plus points, in my opinion. 89 plus points.
Yeah.
Solid, drinkable, but it doesn't excite the hell out of you.
We will get some feedback tonight from Dirk and Marilyn Fitzgerald.
I'm sure
on
they
the
will
wine. Dirk
let
will,
them taste it.
Dirk's an evaluator of wine. It'll be interesting.
But he's into California Red.
He is.
He likes Zinfandel a lot. I noticed that. So I mean, this will be a little bit, I think, too light for him. He wants something with more pepper on it and a little bit more bombastic, I think. All right. So I mean, I think we're done. Couple of good wines.
Excellent.
And a good kind of evaluation of the MLB. Hopefully we didn't jinx the Clayton Valley baseball team
No
by
way.
talking about them.
No way.
So once again, I am George. That's Herc. Wine by the Bay TV, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you, George.